What's going on, guys? MajorLeaugeShooter here. In this video I want to talk about what modifications I have done to my carry gun and what I absolutely think is the absolute necessity so that it can be proficient enough for you to carry effectively. So with that being said, let's get this going. So as you guys can see here, guys, this is my Glock 19. If you look closely, it looks like it's mostly stock, and it absolutely is. First things first though, there's no magazine in the magazine well, and the firearm is clear. Was done before I started recording, but just so that you guys can see that it's clear. So, okay, so as you guys can see, it looks mostly stock, and it absolutely is. I'm going to divide this into two separate ideas, but it's going to flow consistently together. And that is the fact that what guns are necessary, in my opinion, like absolutely you can't live without type stuff for your carry gun, you know what I mean? If you're going to carry a Glock, these are the things that I think you should do. And then I'm going to divide it, the second part, which is what I've done and what my thinking behind it is. So the first things first, as you guys can see, I have the Talon grips. This is the rubberized version. They do have the granulated ones, which is what I use on my Glock 34s. You guys can see here, I use this. These are Talon grips as well. This is my competition. They are a lot more aggressive than the rubberized ones, but I use this. I think this is a better option if you want to use it for like competition type stuff. This is absolutely perfect for just straight carry. It improves the grip significantly. This is a Gen 3, so everybody who knows anything about the Gen 3s knows that the grips on the Gen 3s are not that good. You know, the Gen 4s are a little bit better, but still I think they can use some improvement. I do like Talon grips, guys. I've used them over the years on different guns, and I gotta say I really do like them. So I don't have an extended slide stop or anything like that. I don't think it's necessary at all. It would be more efficient, but for a carry gun, you know, chances are you're not going to see any combat or, you know, self-defense type situation. So I don't think it's absolutely necessary. One thing I did do is I did put the extended magazine release just because it makes it a little bit easier for me to actuate. The way I hold my gun, the only thing that really touches is the very tip of my fingers. You guys can see I have a relatively short thumb, so, well, at least in my opinion I do. So when I try to, you know, release the magazine, it doesn't come off. So the fact that it's a little bit extended makes it a little bit easier for me to actuate the magazine release should I need to, you know, go in that direction. So is this absolutely necessary? I don't think so. It's not one of the necessary mods in my opinion. But it makes my life a little bit easier, and it doesn't really mess with the function of the firearm. So if I should need to use my gun in a defensive situation, that's not really going to be too much of an issue. As you guys can see down here, I do have the plug in there, and a lot of people are gonna, you know, talk and say how they don't recommend this whatsoever. I don't necessarily dislike it or like it. I just think it looks a lot nicer with that plug in there. It kind of, that hole that was in there, just kind of I don't think it's absolutely necessary. Some people will argue that it's for, you know, letting the gases escape. But if you look at the gun, this is like, I like to think of Glocks like the AKs of the pistol world, because they have like loose tolerances. You can probably see all the way through the gun right there on between the slide and the frame. So they have very loose tolerances. That's why they can eat just about anything you feed it. So the fact that it's that loose on its tolerances, you can, you know, safely see that the gases and all that stuff will escape everywhere else before it gets through that hole on the bottom. After all, gases and stuff like that will flow through the, you know, the side with least resistance. So, and that's just about everywhere in the gun before it gets to this point. So I don't think it's necessary to do whatsoever. I just think it looks better. Of course, in the back, I did put in the little side, the base, the striker plate. I don't know exactly the name for them, but the little back plate to the Glocks, and I did put the 3%er. I do like that symbol, and I think it looks a whole lot better. Do you need to do this? Absolutely not. It'll work just fine with the factory one that it comes in. But one thing I do think it's absolutely imperative that you do, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, it wasn't my first modification to this gun. However, I do recommend this to be your first modification, and that is your sights. These are the Trijicon night sights in the green. I absolutely like them a lot, and of course they are night sights, so if you should get to a defensive type situation that you need to use your pistol, the fact is that chances are it will happen at night, so you need to see the, you know, where you're aiming, and night sights is the way to go. I absolutely love Trijicon. I've never had any issues with them whatsoever, so definitely recommend them. But you know, other companies make some good gun sights too, like, you know, TrueGlow makes some decent ones, and Meprolite and all these other companies make pretty good ones too. But I absolutely love Trijicon. So going into, let me put this away. Going into the gun, I haven't done any modifications to the frame itself. Absolutely nothing. I don't want to mess with the trigger assembly whatsoever. Should I need to use my gun, I don't want to be explaining that I have a modified gun and that there was malicious intent and all this other stuff, you know what I mean? So I don't want to mess with the frame. The frame itself is absolutely stock, to include this trigger. It still has the Glock Factory 3.5 trigger. However, I am contemplating whether or not I should go with the Glock Factory 4.5 pound trigger, which comes, you know, stock in the Glock 34. This is a highly modified Glock 34, and I did put a 3 pound connector on there, and the one that it comes with, the 4.5 pounds, would fit in the Glock 19. So I'm debating whether or not I want to do that. It is Glock Factory, so I don't see there being much of an issue in that department. So let me know what you guys think. I'm debating it. I don't know if I should or shouldn't, so whatever you guys tell me, I'll probably do. So in the slide itself, I did one modification only, and that is on this right here. The factory one that it comes with this, you know, cheap plastic polymer piece that I've actually seen personally break. I've seen it one time, but I've heard horror stories of it happening to a lot of other people. And that cheap plastic one that it comes with, the guide rod, I just didn't want it to be an issue if I ever needed to use my gun. You know, I don't carry a backup gun. I wouldn't be mad or judge you if you did either. But I just personally don't. I think it's too much going on with what I'm carrying. So I'd rather just have one gun that I'm very confident at its performance capabilities and the fact that it will work. That you know, that I don't want to, you know, mess with it or anything like that. So this is the stainless steel version with the captured spring in it. This is factory weight. I didn't want to mess with anything. My Glock 34 obviously has a 13 pound spring in it. It's also captured as well, but this one's just factory weight, and that's exactly what I wanted to keep it at, just factory weight. This isn't a performance gun per se, it's a defensive gun, so I don't want to be using my gun in a defensive situation and again, having to explain malicious intent or anything like that. Although I wouldn't use my gun unless I'm absolutely certain I have to use it. So if you can do that effectively, it doesn't really matter too much if your gun is modified or not. Obviously, I'm not a lawyer or anything, so I still personally would recommend keeping your gun as factory as humanly possible. But I didn't, this is a guide rod. I think this is an upgrade that's necessary for your carry gun. So let me put this back together. So when it comes to your carry guns, on your Glock, the only two things I think is absolutely necessary 100% is the guide rod, because it's got that cheap polymer one and I just don't like that one, and your sights, because the Glock Factory polymer plastic sights, whatever it's made out of, I gotta say it's garbage. Those are the absolutely necessary modifications that I think you should do to make your gun perform the way it needs to perform. and you being confident in your firearm. Next, I would probably have to say modifying your grips. I do like a stipple job, but the thing with having a stipple job is that it depreciates the value of your guns pretty significantly if you have, you know, a stipple job or anything like that. So that's something to consider. You know, most people that are actually into firearms would prefer to buy a gun that's already stippled if it's done correctly and all this other stuff, you know. But I don't want to, if I ever decide to sell my gun, I don't want to have to, you know, go through all that. With these Talon grips, you know, you get the upgraded grip ability while simultaneously, you know, keeping the value of the gun. You could always just remove these and it'll be just fine. Same thing goes for the sights and quite frankly the guide rod and guide rod spring as well. So everything else that I did to this gun, as far as you know, like the plug and the backplate, those are 100% optional. And same thing goes with the extended slide release. But this is my carry gun, guys. Let me know what you guys think. It's mostly stock, again, minor modifications, but I think this is all I want to do to it. So definitely let me know what you guys think. Put it down in the comment section. I really want to know. So that's it. God bless you, and God bless America.